Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station, coming to you from the Nelson and Tasman region. In today's news, boy airlifted after collapsing, fishing ban lifted following dead fish mystery, local DHB responds to family violence as health issue, and Kmart wishing tree appeal. A 12-year-old boy was airlifted by the Nelson Marlborough Rescue Helicopter on Monday evening near Coquille Bay in the Abel Tasman National Park. The boy was part of a group of 15 children on a 4-day trek and had only just started their adventure when he collapsed for unknown reasons. The boy was treated on scene by an intensive care paramedic and flown to Nelson's emergency department for further assessment. Council has lifted the warning against fishing in the lower reaches of the Maitai River that was issued on Friday following the death of thousands of fish. Staff continued to monitor the situation throughout the weekend, and there were no further incidents of fish dying. The river environment appears to have returned to normal. Results from the samples of fish, water and sediment that were sent for testing are expected early next week. A severe weather watch was recently issued by the Met Service, valid until 12 minutes past 8 on Wednesday morning for numerous regions including Nelson and Marlborough. A period of heavy rain which started on Monday evening will continue sporadically until Wednesday morning, particularly affecting Nelson west of Motueka. People are advised to keep up to date with the latest forecasts in case the severe weather watch is upgraded to a warning. The Nelson Marlborough District Health Board says it acknowledges and responds to family violence as a health issue and that it supports White Ribbon Day to highlight that violence towards women is never acceptable. Paediatrician Dr. Nick Baker says White Ribbon Day on November 25th is an opportunity for men to offer help to friends and reinforce that no violence is tolerable. Dr. Baker says if you know someone who is being frightened or intimidated by the behaviour of someone else, it's okay to offer help. Both Nelson and Wairau hospitals have the Violence Intervention Program to reduce and prevent the health impacts of family violence. Dr. Baker says violence isn't just physical, it's emotional or verbal behaviour used to control someone through fear. Child and partner abuse figures for the last 6 months of 2012 show 150 cases were identified and followed up across the two hospitals. Dr. Baker says their VIP team equips frontline staff to recognise and support the victims of family violence, which may include staff referring on to Child, Youth and Family, police and other agencies. And Mainland's Chrissy Small headed out to ask the public for their thoughts on how Nelson's CBD is doing.
Do you think Nelson's a dying centre?
No.
No. Have you shopped at Richmond recently?
I've been down there. I haven't actually shopped there. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not much of a materials person, so I can't answer that question correctly, but I don't believe so. I mean, when you come summertime and Christmas time, you see so many shoppers out and about, mate, I don't believe the retail's dying. You know, I can say it would quiet off in winter because we don't have as many people here, but I would say no, I disagree with that.
Do you think Richmond's busier than Nelson?
I believe eventually it will be. You know, free parking goes a long way for starters. You know, everyone likes something for nothing. And the Richmond Mall is just growing and growing, and henceforth Kmart's out there now as well, which will overshadow the warehouse eventually. So I believe eventually in a few years' time Richmond will be the place to be.
I wouldn't say dying, but I think we have to be a lot more proactive to make it a booming centre.
Right. Now, have you shopped at Richmond lately?
Yes, I did check out the new Kmart. Yeah. If Nelson isn't careful, Richmond will surpass Nelson in terms of its shopping opportunities.
Do you think Nelson is a dying hub?
No.
No.
I'm a painter and decorator and I'm doing all right.
Okay. Now, do you think Nelson is dying a little bit with Richmond taking over?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What can be done?
Improve, first of all, the roads. And especially the southern division that we have the traffic coming through. Yeah. We isolate that with the roading system not having up to scratch like Waimea has. Yeah. And of course also if we have to park here and pay and Richmond don't, that's of course a draw card which we haven't got.
It is quiet, but that's nice for the residents, I think, but obviously not for the shop owners and business owners.
What do you think could be improved to help them?
I think parking is always one of the key matters, isn't it?
Have you been out to Richmond and shopped lately?
No.
Okay. Do you think Nelson is a dying centre?
Yes.
What would you like to see done about that?
Reduce the parking meters, because that's what's killing it.
Nelson City, do you think it's dying a little bit?
Possibly, but I hope not.
Yeah. Any ideas as to what could be done?
Oh, blow up Richmond. They're sort of taking us over, aren't they? I don't know, but it's my hometown. I haven't lived here all my life, but I'd hate to see it, yes, become a sort of a backwater. No. I don't think it will.
No.
Oh yeah, everyone wants to go to Kmart and the mall and stuff.
So do you think that's hurting the economy here?
Yeah, definitely.
It can be. I was in Farmers the other night, late night shopping, there was no one there.
Do you think there could be some improvements made, and if so, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I like it, but I work here and I work in town and I don't like Richmond. I don't know. I don't think maybe free parking is the answer. People say it is. I don't know, honestly.
And finally, the first wishing tree appeal began last week with a ceremony in Richmond's new Kmart store. Nelson Salvation Army Captain Jill Knight was there to launch the event with cupcakes and chocolate cake, much to the delight of the small children who arrived to perform for the Christmas-themed launch. The wishing tree appeal has now been run for the last 19 years by Kmart and has become a welcome relief for many within New Zealand, and now for Nelson's Salvation Army at a time when those without are feeling it the most. The wishing tree appeal is aimed for families who have very little at Christmas time. Kmart, who are in partnership with the Salvation Army with this appeal, are hoping to reach a national target of 40,000 gifts that will be donated by shoppers at their stores. It's hoped that Richmond will be able to provide 1,000 gifts for families in need within the region. Mainland's Chrissy Small was at the appeal launch and spoke with Jill Knight and store manager Cameron Holmes about the Wishing Tree appeal, what it means for the region and how people can help.
Right, we have over 1,000 children that we provide parcels to throughout the area of Nelson Tasman Bays, working with the other agencies but collecting them all and sending them out. And this is really exciting that we've got a new business in the area, but who has a heart for our community and isn't afraid to actually stand up and say so, to put their stamp on it and join in partnership with us. Throughout New Zealand, other areas that have the Salvation Army and Kmart in are already doing this. So I was really happy when I heard that Kmart was coming because I knew we were going to get the wishing tree.
So this is the first year for it to happen here in Nelson, is that right?
It is, to have a Kmart wishing tree, yes.
Okay, so what do people do?
My understanding is they come in and if they'd like to find a purchase, and they take a little card off the wishing tree and tick the little boxes to say who it's for, the age and the sex of the child, and they put those together and they're able to put that with the present at the base of the tree. And for people who say, I'm not really sure what to buy, they can actually donate money into Kmart and they will give it back to us as vouchers.
So people can find this wishing tree down the centre aisle in front of the entrance, is that right?
That's correct. It'd be very hard to miss it, and I'm sure that as all the parcels start to gather around it, the kids will want to come and look and see, and I'm sure the mums and dads will too. I work right up to the 24th. I'm still out there delivering parcels right to the end of Christmas Eve.
So basically this is our Wishing Tree appeal launch. So what we do is involve the community in what Kmart also does to give back to the community. So in this way what we do is ask the community to actually place a gift in our Wishing Tree basket, so that at the end of Christmas season, basically on Christmas Eve, we can then go out with Salvation Army to give these gifts out to the underprivileged in the area. So not always is the people that are receiving gifts on Christmas Day, which is quite a sad thing, so we just try to bring a little bit of joy to those that can't afford it.
Now, what is the requirements for these gifts?
There's absolutely no requirement that's major. So what we ask is that the item is not second-hand, is not homemade, so that we can also just give to a customer with some sort of thought. So I want people to go out and really think about what do they think a person would really need, even though they don't know who the person would be. So it's, for example, if I'm thinking of an underprivileged young child, maybe they don't have that beautiful little Barbie gift, which it's not necessary to then receive. So go out to any store, including a Kmart, and purchase something for around $5 and $10 and really put some thought into it as to what would really bring joy to a child that doesn't have.
How long will this be happening for?
It goes up until Christmas Eve, so our last gifts will be at the close of business on Christmas Eve, and thereafter Salvation Army comes to pick it all up. We're hoping to get at least 10,000 gifts from this community. So if we think of just our opening day, we had 5,800 customers walk through our door. So at least if 5,000 of those customers give a gift, 10,000. Would you guys like a cupcake?
Thank you very much, Cameron.
Thank you.
Red, red coat and a red, red hat. His boots are black and he carries a sack. He has a twinkle in his eye and a friendly smile. And his name is Santa Claus. Let's hear it again now. And his name is Santa Claus.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.